Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojo Bakatu. News coming in, we are learning. Carl Bank PLC has announced the retirement of its Chief Executive Officer, Philip Oredu, effective February 2024. In a statement, the bank said the announcement of his retirement honors his 19-year career with Carl Bank and his leadership. Mr. Oredu joined Carl Bank as Director of Finance in December 2023 and was appointed CEO in January 2020. Now, the bank said during his tenure, Mr. Oredu led the institution through a period of considerable change. The statement concluded that the Board of Directors will notify the Bank of Ghana of the nomination of a successor in due course to ensure a smooth transition. Moving on to some other stories, steel manufacturing company B5 Plus has taken over the operations of United Steel Company, which has been in debt for over 2 years. The takeover follows a series of actions on United Steel by the Ghana Revenue Authority to retrieve taxes of almost 2 billion cedis, but to no avail. Now, the GRA, being the biggest creditor, appointed a liquidator, that's the Ghana Association of Restructuring and Insolvency, to liquidate United Steel for its high indebtedness to the authority and other creditors. Now, GRA consequently undertook due diligence and opened a competitive bidding process in which B5 Plus won. Now, speaking to journalists after visiting the site, the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Dr. Amisha Dai Usu Amwa, said all the taxes and penalties have been paid from the liquidation of the assets of United Steel. Here's more.
According to the Ghana Revenue Authority, the liquidated United Steel Company was in financial distress of 149 million cedis in principal tax liabilities, which accrued to about 400 million cedis, including penalties. It had no option but to put investors. B5 succeeded as the new company and cleared all the tax liabilities after due process under an official liquidator. Commissioner General Reverend Dr. Amisha Dai Usu Amwa explains that the GRA has used all necessary laws to ensure that the state receives the tax revenue, which is the main objective. Therefore, cautioned that the GRA will be forced to use this strategy when necessary in retrieving debt.
After they bought the company, they paid the tax liability in full because the administrator had then applied for to take advantage of the waiver of interest and penalties. And so the 149 million, which we have been chasing from 2020, was paid in full in 2023. In addition, the workers who were over 400 were all paid their redundancy packages in full, and then they also re-employed or re-engaged many of them. And then the factory has also, as you saw today, has been completely put back on its feet to be able to produce. And as we heard today, they have committed that looking at the production that they were going to do, we'll be getting another over 100 million cedis every per annum in terms of taxes. And so you see that as GRA, so that is basically, and so my purpose here, when the factory was in distress, I had visited and I've looked around and see what we can do about it, even though we're still shutting them down, trying to get the liability. And since we sold the factory, we also have come to see whether the one that we sold it to is doing what he had committed to do.
Chief Executive of B5 Group, Mukesh Takwani, described the deal as a high-value transaction that will help the company meet the demand of the African market.
Truly, it has come as a bit of a high value for us, I'll put it that way, because when we acquired the organization, we were not expecting from roofing to SMS, CCM and rolling mill, everything we have to re-equip it, even the reheating furnaces. You saw that there was a lot of work which was really done. Today it is more than 6 months and we have more than 420 Ghanaians and between 40 to 50 expatriates who are working on it round the clock 24 hours, and still we are trying to fix up the things,
The GRA has also disclosed that there are bigger firms in similar situations. A decision will be taken on them soon.
All right, so let's have a better appreciation of the extent of the move by GRA. Let's get on the phone and speak with Audrey Cote, managing partner at Audrey Gray Law Firm, an insolvency practitioner and a member of GRA. Thanks so much, Audrey, I beg your pardon, for joining me on Business Live. Now, does the law permit GRA to appoint a liquidator to basically liquidate the assets of a firm that is highly indebted to the authority in terms of tax liabilities? Really, does it?
Okay, so good evening, and thank you very much for having me. I think the issues we need to look at are twofold. We are looking at a tax issue and then an insolvency issue. What it actually is an insolvency issue and not specifically a taxation issue. The appointment of the liquidator, as far as I know, was done by the creditors of United Steel Company and not by the Ghana Revenue Authority. So we need to understand the two actions. There's a law, the Corporate Insolvency and Restructuring Act, the CIRA, which has recently been passed to help companies that are in distress to overcome the distress and to come back to operations. So the USC story is actually a success story on the new law that has been passed. Like the Commissioner General rightly said, there are many companies that are currently undergoing distress. Now, this law offers them another path aside being totally liquidated. So in the case of USC, as far as I'm concerned, the Corporate Insolvency and Restructuring Act has been successful. GRA has indeed recovered its liability. Employees have been saved, and the company has the opportunity to be turned around. But it's not specifically a tax recovery issue. It's an insolvency issue. That is a success story, and therefore there has been the recovery of taxation as a result thereof.
All right. Thanks for the clarification and education there. But really, what does this action mean to other firms that are significantly owing the GRA or insolvent?
Okay, so if there's a firm owing the GRA has its own enforcement actions that it can take against companies that owe them. But for companies that are generally insolvent, including owing the GRA, they can speak to an insolvency advisor and see whether they are tax.
It seems we are having some network challenge, and we shall get back to Audrey Kote for more on this. We shall rectify that telephone line and see if we can get Audrey. I understand she's on. Let's connect back to Audrey. So Audrey, you were making a point.
Yes, I was saying other companies that are in financial distress can also speak to an insolvency practitioner and see if they qualify to go into administration, that is restructuring and turnaround, to save the company, or if they don't. If they do qualify, then they can go under the administration process and see if there's a hope to turn the company around and to pay off whatever taxes are owed to the GRA and other creditors as well.
All right, so if a company is insolvent, who takes up that role? Does the company come to GRA, for instance, to say, I am insolvent, therefore take the necessary action? Is that the case?
Yes, so there are many options. The directors of the company can decide that we are insolvent and therefore we would want to seek this sort of protection. They can go to GRA and GRA can assist them to appoint an insolvency practitioner to assist them with it. The creditors of the company can also say, this company owes us money and we've met certain conditions and therefore we would want to go into administration or into liquidation. The courts can also do so. So the company, is in the company's best interest to approach GRA early in time and see if there is hope for the company and if it's possible to turn things around and save the situation. All right, so it's a win-win for everybody.
I'm wondering where the GRA comes in then. Where does the GRA come in?
Okay, so the Ghana Revenue Authority is what we call a preferential creditor. When a company goes insolvent, there are certain liabilities that are preferential liabilities, and those liabilities are paid first. Now, if a company owes the Ghana Revenue Authority, that is a debt to the state. It's a public debt, and it's a debt that, if it is paid off, it benefits the entire country. Because if you owe tax liabilities, the entire country is losing that revenue. So it's a preferential creditor. In insolvency, when assets are realized, the GRA is paid first as a priority creditor, unless there is some other financing that comes in. The GRA is the top creditor, and therefore they are paid first. All
right. Thank you very much, Managing Partner Audrey Gray, law firm Audrey Kote, speaking to us there. Thanks so much, Madam, for joining me on Business Live. Let's move on to some other stories. I will be really shocked and concerned if the government introduces new taxes in the 2024 budget. These are the words of economist Dr. Patrick Esuming as he argues the digitalization agenda should be leveraged to mobilize revenue. According to him, the multiple taxes over the years doesn't give room for more taxes this time round. His comment is coming at a time the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta readies himself to present the 2024 budget to Parliament. Now, speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Esuming said the government must ensure the 2024 budget also addresses the revenue leakages.
All that we've seen over the last couple of years and the new taxes, I would be shocked if we brought new taxes. One area that I also want to see happen though is to bring back the road tolls. Bring them back in a more refined format. Last year, when the budget was read, the finance minister said they are considering ways to reintroduce the road tolls. A full year has passed. We know we've done all the digitization. There's no reason why we can't use those digital solutions to change how we collect the tolls, to reduce the leakages and rake in more, and also make it faster so that people are not or the toll collection is not causing the queues that we see. Outside of that, after the multiplicity of new taxes we've seen over the last 2 years, I would be really shocked and concerned if we were to see new tax handles introduced in this budget.
More on taxes and the 2024 budget, the president of the Canada-Ghana Chamber of Commerce, Alexander Norty, says his outfit is expecting some tax exemptions and incentives for their members undertaking exports and imports in the 2024 budget. According to him, the private sector needs cushioning in order to stay resilient. He was speaking at a business cocktail and network session.
Canada-Ghana Chamber of Commerce and the French Chamber of Commerce and Industries held a networking session to foster good business relations. In an interview, President of the Canada-Ghana Chamber of Commerce, Alexander Norty, said government must create a favorable business environment to attract more foreign direct investment.
We have logistics companies that are doing shipments to other neighboring African countries. We're really looking for changes at the port or those that want to set up industries here and bring heavy-duty equipment through the port. A lot of our companies are Ghana-based, and of course, though they're looking for opportunities across as far afield as Canada, we also invite them or remind them to do business on the sub-Africa region.
President of the French Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Sekou Koulibaly, added that government must focus heavily on re-energizing the private sector in order to turn around the economy.
This is our critical time, not just for Ghana, internationally. So every measure will be extremely important. We still have hope. Ghana is a very strategic country. Ghana has political stability. Ghana has so much potential. Ghana could serve as the hub of West Africa. We want to make sure that everybody understands that and doesn't mess it up, let's say. So we really hope that the budget will basically favor the turnaround and basically re-energize the private sector to turn around the economy.
The meeting provided both chambers with the opportunity to converse and seek for potential investment.
And one of our big stories we are following up for you. The Joy Business Pre-Budget Thought Leadership Forum will come off on Monday, November 13 from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. The program will focus on examining government's fiscal policies, that's the revenue mobilization target, and the risk of budget overruns in an election year. This edition will be held on the theme, the 2024 budget, maintaining a tight fiscal policy and a business-friendly environment in an election year. The panel will be made up of Professor John Gachi, Dean, School of Business, University of Cape Coast, Professor Japoma Jakedako, Senior Lecturer, University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Humphrey Enyimdake, President, Association of Ghana Industries, Mark Bedu Abuaji, CEO, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and former Minister of Finance, Seth Tekpe. Now, the program will be live on Joy FM, 99.7 FM, as well as the Joy News channel, and also on all Joy Businesses socials. So we just don't want to miss out. Come Monday here on the channel. You're still watching Business Live. We've got more stories for you after this break. Please stay. Hello, welcome back to the program. Now, Ghanaians have been lamenting the high cost of rent in the country over the years. Today on the Joy Business Shopping List, my colleague Jesse Area Magbako engages shop owners
business sometimes, but all in all we are still coping.
For here they take for like let's say 2 years and the month is 1,100, you see, and you can't go for like you can't say that you are going to pay for a year. The landlord will not accept that is that. Sometimes you go to a place and they will start building, people will go and deposit, you see, so now things has increased because of what they are doing. Yeah, that is that. So if you get a nice place, like let's say you get a roadside like Okomlemle, you see, it will depend on the place that you are going to rent. Yeah, so this place, you see that people passes here, so they take 1,100 a month, and if you calculate it 1,100 a month, let's say 2 years, you will see the calculation it yourself.
Do you ask for reductions? Do they agree?
If you ask for a reduction, they will tell you that dollars, cement, yeah. But you know, Ghana, if things goes up, it's difficult for us for it to come down. That is that, yeah. But they don't build every year, but they increase the price of things every year.
Here, they correct not a month, is they calculate it maybe it's 5 years, and it costs a lot. It costs a lot, and if you are not lucky, when you come to work and you don't sell anything, it means you are in trouble, because them, they don't care, they just need their money. If that you like it or not, they need their money. And sometimes they came, we need some money to go and do something. They don't know where you are going to collect that money from. That you have it, you are sell something or not. They just, and it's a lot of money. It's not easy. The same time, I have to pay lights, you pay tax. It's not easy at all. It's not easy.
So, for example, the 5 years, how much, if you calculate it, how much would this amount to roughly?
Oh, let me see. The last time is almost 60-something thousand. Yeah. It means the old currencies can be, it will be the old one be 500,000, or if it comes the new one, it's 50 going. Yes, in the 5 years, and because if you right now, those who are doing the new building, that one there, it's not easy, and you know the store owners, each of them, because the foreigners have money now. We Ghanaians, our money to do the business is small, because they need money more than anyone, so they'll give it to the foreigners, because we don't, our money is small, and sometimes it's not easy. the money you use to pay the rent, the same money you have to use to go and buy the goods. So if you don't have God, always every day you cry.
Those were some shop owners here in Accra sharing their thoughts on just the exorbitant prices they've had to pay for their shops. For Joy Business, Jesse Ayoam Agbakpo.
So there you have it there. Today's edition of Joy Shopping List. We shall be bringing you more every Friday here on the channel. And that's it for the bulletin. I am Pius Kojobaka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Do have a lovely weekend. We leave you with some international business. Bye.